पश्चिम बंगाल और देश भर से घुसपैठियों को चुन चुन कर देश के बाहर निकालना चाहिए और कवि गुरु की कल्पना का सोनार बांग्ला बनाना चाहिए। इसलिए पूरे बंगाल की जनता परिवर्तन के लिए तत्पर बैठी है, तैयार बैठी। जहां जाते वहां कहते हैं 5 मई को भाजपा सरकार आने वाली है। मगर मैं आज भवानीपुर के मतदाता भाइयों बहनों को विनती करने आया हूं। पूरा बंगाल ममता बनर्जी को विदाई करने के लिए तैयार है, मगर भवानीपुर वालों, पूरे बंगाल में परिवर्तन करने आपके हाथ में है। ऐसा है, एक एक सीट कर जीतेंगे, 170 सीट तक जाएंगे, तब परिवर्तन होगा, ठीक है ना? मगर मेरे पास एक शॉर्टकट है। अगर भवानीपुर वाले एक ही सीट जिता दे तो परिवर्तन अपने आप हो जाएगा। अरे सुवेंदु दा हमारे नंदीग्राम से लड़ना चाहते थे। मैंने सुवेंदु दा को कहा था कि सिर्फ नंदीग्राम नहीं, ममता के घर में जाकर उसको हराना। और इनका रिकॉर्ड है, गत चुनाव में ममता बंगाल में सरकार तो बना पाई थी, मगर ममता दीदी नंदीग्राम में सुवेंदु दा के सामने चुनाव हार गई थी। इस बार ममता जी पूरे बंगाल में भी हारेगी और भवानीपुर में भी हारेगी। आज सुबह कुछ पत्रकारों का फोन आया कि वातावरण तो बहुत अच्छा है, बंगाल की जनता चाहती है कि ममता बनर्जी चली जाए, तृणमूल के गुंडे जेल में जाए, भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं की हत्या करने वाले को चुन चुन कर जेल में डालना चाहिए। तो मैंने बोला भाई तकलीफ क्या है? तो उन्होंने कहा टीएमसी के गुंडे वोट नहीं करने देंगे। मैंने कहा है इस बार कोई डरना मत, कोई गुंडे की औकात नहीं है जो बंगाल के वोटर्स को रोकता। इस बार भय मुक्त होकर वोटिंग करना है और सिर्फ हराना नहीं है, टीएमसी को मूल समेत उखाड़कर बंगाल की खाड़ी में फेंक देना है। भाइयों बहनों, जिस प्रकार से बंगाल में भ्रष्टाचार का शासन हो गया, टोलबाजी फैल गई, सिंडिकेट ने बंगाल की जनता का जीना हराम कर दिया है और घुसपैठ इतनी बढ़ा दी कि पश्चिम बंगाल का अस्तित्व ही खतरे में आ गया है। इस सारी चीजों का एक ही रास्ता है, नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व में बंगाल में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनाई। 2014 से जिस राज्य ने मोदी जी पर भरोसा रखकर सरकारें बनाई, वो सभी राज्य विकास के रास्ते पर आगे चल गए। अब बारी हमारे बंगाल की है। मुझे बताओ भवानीपुर वालों, बंगाल में परिवर्तन करना है या नहीं करना है? बंगाल में तो परिवर्तन होगा ही, भवानीपुर में परिवर्तन करना है या नहीं करना है? मैं भवानीपुर की जनता को करबद्ध निवेदन करने आया हूं दो हाथ जोड़कर विनती करने आया हूं, पूरे बंगाल की मुक्ति के लिए हमारे प्रत्याशी शुभेंदु अधिकारी को प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ आप जिताएंगे और ये परिवर्तन पश्चिम बंगाल के लिए शुभंकर होगा। विवेकानंद जी, कवि गुरु टैगोर, बंकिम चंद्र चट्टोपाध्याय और श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी का कल्पना का सोनार बांग्ला हमें बनाना है, इसलिए परिवर्तन करना है। तो फिर से एक बार शुभेंदु दा, हमारे डॉक्टर सपन दास गुप्ता, बहन शत्रुता घोष, संतोष पाठक, हमारे चारों प्रत्याशियों को चुनाव जीतने की बहुत बहुत शुभकामना कर भवानीपुर वालों को पूरे बंगाल के परिवर्तन की जिम्मेदारी आपकी है, इसका एहसास कराकर मेरी वाणी को विराम देता हूं। मेरे साथ बोलिए, जय श्री राम, जय जय श्री राम, वंदे 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 भारत माता की।
Well, there you have Union Home Minister Amit Shah slamming the TMC government as he kicks off the campaigning in West Bengal. A lot is at stake. This is in Bhabanipur, where the Home Minister is there, saying that this is time to fight against Mamata Banerjee's government. But what is very significant is it comes at a time when you have the Supreme Court itself highlighting the state of law and order in the state of West Bengal after 7 judicial officials were attacked in Malda. You can see the visuals there on your screens. What is very disturbing is that the Supreme Court itself has pulled up the DCP, the SP, saying despite the fact that repeated calls were made to the top cops, there was no one who went to rescue the judicial officers who were kept hostage for the last 7 hours, and there was absolutely no movement on that. In the midst of it all, you have the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who held that rally in Malda. In fact, we are going to be telling you what exactly it is that the Supreme Court has said and the way that it has lashed out at the administration in West Bengal after 7 of the judicial officials, and this included 3 women who were reportedly gheraued. Then they were held hostage in poll-bound West Bengal on Wednesday, and even worse, when they were leaving on the way back, their cars were pelted, that you can see in the visuals there on your screens. The Supreme Court took suo motu cognizance after the apex got 2 of the reports, and this happened at 2 a.m. in the morning, which suggested that judicial officers were gheraued by these anti-social elements in Malda. In fact, the CJI himself, Surya Khan, has said that the Registrar General called up government officials, but nothing was done for 9 long hours. CJI has also said that it was a brazen attempt to challenge the authority of the Supreme Court as well. In fact, going to the extent of saying that this is a contempt of court because these were judicial officers who were gheraued, taken hostage, and later attacked, and their cars were pelted with stones. These officers were working without leave or a break, is what the CJI has pointed out, and what happened with them appears to be a deliberate move to demoralize the officers who were just performing their solemn duty. In fact, we are going to take you through the key observations which were made by the apex court. There you have it on your screens. This is what the Supreme Court had said as it took suo motu cognizance when visuals like this, horrifying visuals like this, came to the front. The first observation is that 7 judicial officers were gheraued by anti-social elements. It went on to say stones were being pelted at the vehicles of these judicial officers as they were trying to even leave. Brazen attempt was made to try and browbeat the judicial officers who were just helping with the process of elections. Also said that prima facie this amounts to contempt of court because these were judicial officers doing their duty. Attacking them in this manner means contempt of court. The Supreme Court also said that this was an attempt to obstruct the ongoing process of elections and SIR before that. It has also said that it appears to be a calculated and a motivated move, that it was not at the spur of the moment, it was pre-planned and calculated. So that's a big giveaway of what the Supreme Court is hinting at. It also has said that there was an attempt to demoralize judicial officers from carrying out their duties. So this is as clear as the Supreme Court can be. In fact, let me go across to our legal editor, Harish Nair, who's joining us. Scathing attacks there coming in. But Harish, it's important to point out that the reason why judicial officers were there on the ground in the first place is because of the trust deficit between the state authorities and the Election Commission officers. And this is the kind of treatment, or rather, should I say, reception that they reach. Tell us the salient features of what the Supreme Court has said, what the Chief Justice of India has said, and what is the way forward.
Yes, that's right, Meghna. As rightly put, remember this Chief Justice bench, which also comprises of Justice Joyamali Bakshi, apart from Chief Justice, the only judge from West Bengal in the Supreme Court. They took a very serious view and said that it cannot be taken lightly, because it was we who roped in these judicial officers to complete the SIR process after noting the trust deficit between state government and the Election Commission, and therefore we will not take it lightly. And that is why all these DGP, State Secretary, Home Secretary, Collector and SP have been asked to appear online on the next date of hearing, that is April 6th. And very importantly, the Election Commission of India has been allowed to, given a free hand to either rope in the CBI or the NIA to probe the Malda incident. And the Chief Justice taking very serious view of the fact that despite the Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court asking the Registrar General to contact the Collector was not available till 11 o'clock in the night, when that siege had begun at 3:30, wherein 7 judicial officers, 3 of them women, were held hostage for 9 hours, even without food and water. Forget these judges. Chief Justice said that he came to know that even women and children inside that room were held hostage without food and water. And after the Collector did not respond, the Chief Justice of the Calcutta High Court himself had to call up the state authorities and give directions. And the Chief Justice said at 2 a.m. in the morning he had to pass certain orders, and said that this is nothing but an attempt to browbeat the judges who are involved in the SIR exercise, to demoralize the judges and also obstruct the process. The Chief Justice has directed that henceforth, wherever these judicial officers are working, let there be central paramilitary forces on guard, also at the workplace and also at their hotel. The Chief Justice has taken very serious view of the fact that these judicial officers who are working as per the direction of the Supreme Court, and call them, they are our extended hands. That is why we cannot tolerate such an act against our judicial officers. And to the Advocate General of the West Bengal, the Chief Justice said, the problem with you people is that even when such a constitutional exercise is on, you people talk a political language and try to browbeat our officers who are doing their constitutional duty. So very important observations made during the hearing. The importance of this issue is that the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance, that is, even without any party, even the Election Commission of India or the BJP filing a petition in the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice has suo motu taken cognizance of this very shocking incident. What the Chief Justice explained, the Chief Justice Suryakant said that from 3:30 till 12 o'clock, these judges were held hostage for 9 hours, and despite the Chief Justice of the Calcutta High Court directly instructing the Registrar General to contact the Collector, DGP, they did not act, they did not
That's very
do
important.
anything. And that is why...
What Harish is telling us, very important. Harish, I'm just going to come back to you. That's precisely the point. It's not just what happened at that place in Malda, the way they were held hostage, pelted with stones, but also the slow response, the negligible response of the authorities, which is why it's important that we show you exactly what the Chief Justice of India said during the hearing, saying that he called up the concerned authorities, they were informed, but there was no action taken for several hours. Top court virtually has slammed Mamata Banerjee's administration. Let's tell you what exactly it is it has said, saying that despite appeals, nothing was done for 9 hours. For 9 hours, the judicial officers were held hostage. No one went to rescue them. Chief Justice also said that there were no concrete action which was taken immediately. Response by the Chief Secretary, the Home Secretary, the DGP, the SP. Look at these. These are the top brass and people who are known to be very close to Mamata Banerjee. The Home Secretary, the State Secretary, you have the DGP, the SP, all of these very close to Mamata Banerjee, that they did nothing for 9 long hours, saying abdication of duty by West Bengal government and the officers. Scathing attacks they're coming in from the CJI of India. In fact, this understandably has now led to a massive political face-off in the state of Bengal.